Hey there again. It's John Brown coming back at you. Wanted to let you know, and I wouldn't come out and just say that I was the creator of Deadpool without having any proof or any backing for it, or that I even came up with the basis for X-Force. This is all stuff that I came up with. When I look back, when I developed the idea for X-Force on paper, and that's 1986, people, okay? 1986, Cable existed on paper. It's who I based it on. He was living with the New Mutants in a house. He was basically a homeless guy. And this is a guy that knew the future. So, you know, Rob comes in of March of 87. I'm pretty sure that he didn't create Cable. Pretty sure about that. He came up with it all by himself, huh? It's not true. I got people out there calling me a liar. But I'm going to spin this real nice for you. Right now, I'm looking for some real people out there that'll do a documentary about Deadpool before the movie comes out. I want to do a documentary as the creator, and I would like to actually find the creator of Cable and a few other characters out there that have been ripped off. If you've been ripped off by him, and you know, I would like to have a documentary done and go that route, you know. Furthermore, you know, when I talk about Deadpool, Deadpool is a dedication to soldiers as well. He's not just the merc with the mouth. That's a whole nother video I got for you guys. Wait till that bomb drops. Deadpool was a dedication to people that were basically point men, the stories that my father told me. My dad's friend was a Turk in Vietnam, and the guy did things like cut heads off and made earrings out of earrings and necklaces out of human ears off of dead people, and was a little crazy. One of the stories was that there was a sniper that had the squad pinned down, and the point man, who Deadpool's dedicated to soldiers that took point. Point men generally stepped on landmines or hit tripwires or stepped on punji sticks, or guys that were hurt real bad. And the sad part was they would lose their legs, they would lose their arms, they would lose their fingers. You know, the things that happened to these people were just awful. And my thoughts were that if Deadpool got blown up every issue of the comic book, or was the Kenny of the comic book, let's say, to pay a little tribute to South Park there. But if he was that character that could get killed or blown to pieces, and you think, oh my gosh, you know, and then he would put himself back together. That's what he was dedicated to. The point man, you know, he got shot. You know, my dad's buddy was in a situation where the lieutenant was from West Point, and he kept putting guys up on the point. You take the point, and the guy would, bing, get shot, and then the next guy would get shot. And then finally, my dad's friend's there, and he says, take the point. And he goes, sir, I don't understand. Tell me what the point is. Tell me what the point is. He says, I tell you, take the point. Take the point. And he goes, sir, I don't understand what the point is. Please tell me what the point is, sir. He says, I don't understand, sir. So finally, the lieutenant stands up and pulls his .45 out and points it at my dad's buddy. And bing, the bullet goes ripping through his helmet, and his brains go all over the bushes. And then my dad's buddy says, look, if you guys want to live, let's crawl around and find this sniper. And that's the gist of why I wanted Deadpool to be able to put himself back together, you know, from an awful story. Keep in mind also, you know, one of the things I had to deal with was, you know, when you read Wolverine's bio, when you read his bio, he's invisible to machinery. So when Sentinels are looking around for him, he's invisible. that was one of the things I wanted to add into with the costume, with the infrared vision, was that basically Wade would be invisible to machinery as well, or infrared scopes, you know, and that's why his suit is actually red and black. They put on there, oh, it's just to hide the blood. Well, you're not going to hide the blood from that stuff up the side there. But there's a lot of stuff out there, guys, that they don't know about, and I've said a lot of it on my videos here. I've said a lot of it, and they don't have half of it. Everything's all, you know, stuff that I wrote down. Like if they go to the middle of their page, it says Deadpool should be known as the Merc with the Mouth. I don't know who they say created that or came up with that, but it was written down on paper in January of '87. Now, was it written on paper of December of '86 at the end of the month? I don't recall. I worked on that stuff for about a week and a half, close to 2 weeks, fine-tuning it. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, me personally, and I'm just telling you guys my story. I haven't had to look at notes or check anything here. My papers, by the way, I have an eagle stamp through my papers that someone says, well, your date and your stamp and that stuff could be done. It's raised underneath that stamp. There's a bald eagle on that stamp that's in there. And I don't know if you could see it here on camera or not, but it's the real deal. It's copyrighted. But it, you know, going to Disney and taking it to court, you know, I got young kids out there going, oh, yo, take it to court. Do you honestly think in the next 50 years of my life that I'm going to see anything? You're crazy. Joe Shuster, the guy that created Superman, he died at the age of 90, and he never had the rights to his character, his story, you know? Everyone else got a piece of that. And that's the way these corporations work. You know, I got guys out there that favor Rob, and they think he's the only guy that created that character. And the reality of it is he has a partner. He has a partner. He did not create that character. Him creating that character is like him creating Cable. It didn't happen. You know? Somewhere along the lines, there was a changing of the guard. And these guys took all this stuff, and a lot of the stuff that I wrote down is how that character is supposed to be. Now, where they take Deadpool is up to them. You know, I can't be responsible for who he fights. That whole bit in there about him and the Taskmaster, I wrote that. I wrote that down. My idea was to cross over the X-Men a little bit more with the Avengers. The Avengers were more global, and then you had the X-Men that were dealing with more mutant problems, and I wanted to cross them over as heroes and have more involvement with that. You know, some of my favorite stories was the mutant massacre in the sewers of Manhattan that they did. I thought that was a great storyline. Secret Wars, I think they just brought that back. If I'm not mistaken, but that was a great story. Kid I went to school with, Aaron Ford, was the kid that got me into comic books. Good Intent Elementary School. And that was the first time I saw the Spider-Man costume was a black ball in the room, and it covered his body. And for me, that was cool, you know. But they didn't want to have a black and white character like that, even though it was Spider-Man with a cool speed suit. They didn't want that. You know, I can answer any question about Deadpool, and once again, I'm going to tell you right now, I've never read a Deadpool comic. Never read a Deadpool comic. Never read an X-Force comic. When I created that character, I was 14 going on 15, and I fell in love with girls, and I needed a car, needed a job, you know, And then as I got older and working in an office and everything like that, my daughter comes to me one day and she says, Dad, I really like this comic book character, Deadpool. And I said, Daddy created Deadpool. And she turns around and, she's like, wow, never thinking anything about it. And then now that there's a movie being made, they've taken my limited copyright that I gave them, and they're making a movie, but yet they've never secured my end in that. So time will tell. Hopefully I don't have to wait till I'm 90. I was the guy that came up with X-Force, Domino, John Wraith, and Deadpool. That's my contribution to creating a comic book. And I did it all when I was 14 years old. I would like to get a documentary going if there's anyone out there that sees this and would like to give me 20 questions or 100 questions or whatever it is to pick my brain about that character. And I will come forward on a documentary and I will talk about it. So with that, this is my newer video. I'm going to wind up doing more. I have a video of the guy Potty Mouth. I'm going to call him. That one's coming, and then I got a few more videos that I put up where I was standing when I came up with the idea of the character, what I saw, and different things I took out of different things that inspired that. A lot of other things going on in there. So with that, I thank you for watching. Stay tuned. As things roll along, it'll get a little bit more exciting. So thank you very much, and have a blessed day.